Heavy police presence in New York City at the JFK airport as pro-Hamas protesters try to shut the entire place down. Absolutely crazy one day into the year, and chaos is already the name of the game. 9 million more egg-laying hens have been culled since December 1st. So in December, 9 million more egg-laying hens. Iran has sent a warship to the Red Sea, and we're seeing other countries sending more warships because why wouldn't you want to have as many possible warships in a confined space as possible? And we got reports coming from you guys from all over about what's going on at your stores, what's happening at your jobs, and what you're hearing out there. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and we cover your reports here on this channel and what is going on out there in the world. We want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They do a fantastic job helping people get out of stocks and bonds and other risky things into gold, silver, and platinum with their retirement accounts. If you have questions about what you can do or what might be a good idea to do things with, there will be a link at the end of the video. All right, so 9 million egg-laying hens culled in December. About half of those being in California and half of those culled in Ohio. Other states had chump change worth of chickens. It seemed to be that the U.S. Department of Agriculture only has field offices in Ohio and California, at least in December. Maybe the rest of them were all home for the holidays. But an absolutely devastating number of chickens culled. And not just any chickens, egg-laying hens. Why is it that egg-laying hens seem to be the only ones getting bird flu this year? I don't know. Early in the season, it was all the turkey meat birds getting bird flu, and now it's just all these egg-laying hens. And you're seeing egg prices going up. You're seeing egg shortages appearing all over the place. New York City, like I said, under siege yesterday as protesters tried to shut down the JFK airport. Police refused to allow those without boarding passes or employment IDs to take the train to the airport. Pro-Hamas protesters also were blocking the roads leading to the airport as well. And when they were denied, they decided to go march on Wall Street down to Israel's one of Israel's airlines offices there to do something. No police presence there, at least initially, but very heavy police presence at JFK Airport. There's also a protest at Times Square last New Year's Eve, and that did not result in any major confrontations or anything like that. But we're seeing lots and lots of civil protests, and we have not seen violence inside the United States at these protests, at least recently. So at least we're thankful for that. But they are fast moving towards the gluing themselves to the road type of mentality of MO. So be aware that they're out there blocking traffic and doing all sorts of stuff. Iran has sent an Alborz destroyer, an Alborz class destroyer, to secure shipping lanes in the Red Sea, right off the coast of Yemen. This is coming right after the United States destroyed 3 speedboats with helicopter gunships that were trying to attack a cargo ship by Maersk that had just recently been hit by a missile from the Houthis. The Houthis then sent 4 speedboats to go try taking over the ship, and the U.S. helicopter gunships destroyed 3 of them, and the 4th was able to flee. Yemen and Iran are out there calling the soldiers that tried to take the ships martyrs, and are super upset with the United States. And now they're declaring war on the United States, essentially. They declared war on Israel and started lobbing random missiles and other things that they had to have laying around at Israel. Not very effectively, but they at least tried. And now they're declaring war against the United States, and they're swearing that they're going to attack U.S. bases all throughout the Middle East. We will see what happens of that. Houthis are a little more competent than the Hamas folks, but not that much. All right, Copenhagen Denmark has decided to send a frigate to participate in the U.S.-led Red Sea operation. Several other countries have ships in the area now. France has one. UK has at least one. The United States has a bunch. And then other countries like Spain, Australia, Italy, they don't want to play ball with the United States. They may have warships in the area, but they are not part of Operation Prosperity Garden. And the question there is, so they're sending them. The Denmark is sending its warship to get there next month. So that just kind of begs the question: how many months are we planning on operating Prosperity Garden and shooting down missiles at commercial ships? How many months are we going to do this? How many billions and billions and billions of dollars worth of expenses are we going to spend safeguarding shipping going through the Red Sea? Nobody knows. Nobody seems to want to answer that question either. Janine says, U.S. military has updated their policy for those deployed abroad. It used to be that soldiers could store their vehicles in military pool parking lots and receive reimbursement for home furnishings placed in storage. They're no longer going to allow either of those as a cost-cutting measure. This is obscene. Our service members deserve better. If they're being forced to deploy to go protect, the Red Sea or other places that are nowhere near any U.S. territories, we should be taking care of them. We're sending them into conflicts that have nothing to do with the United States. The very least we could do is take care of them. Quigley says, it looks like the magma chamber under the recent volcanic eruption in Iceland is getting bigger. 14 kilometers long now. Another bigger eruption could destroy Grindavik, ground flights, and even split Iceland in two. That's a little extreme from what I've seen. I don't know. I'm not a geologist though, so but it seems a little extreme. But earthquakes and volcanic activity are increasing all over the world. They are. We just had a major earthquake in Japan just yesterday, right? That had tsunami warnings, but the tsunamis ended up being about 3 meters high in a lot of places. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of geological activity out there. Are you connecting the dots out there? There's stuff going on. But what exactly is that? I'd point you to what's up in the sky, because solar activities definitely affect what happens here on Earth, especially geology and such. Mike says, Steve, eggs are $6.20 a dozen in Louisville, Kentucky. Friend, if eggs cost $6.20 in Louisville, Kentucky, you might want to move. And it says, I'm a mechanic and it takes 2 weeks to get parts that used to take 2 days. If you're repairing a car out there, you might want to listen to Mike. But Mike might need to find a cheaper place to shop at for eggs. I don't know. Is it that bad out in Louisville, Kentucky? Let me know if you're seeing prices like that. That is absolutely insane. Greg says the COLA, or the cost of living increases, for military, retired military, and those with VA disabilities was 3.2% last year. Not very reflective of the actual inflation rate. I don't mean the number the government gives us either. We're seeing inflation much, much higher than the cost of living adjustments for Social Security, those military benefits, everyone out there that's linked to cost of living adjustments. It's not keeping up with what we're seeing inflation-wise out there for sure. If you guys have updates, please do send those in. Just make a comment on any video on this channel and make sure you use the word update somewhere in there, and that will get it to the right place and give us some sort of geographical location as well. Jackie says, my friend works at a Stellantis plant in southern Ontario, right? That's where they make cars. She has been going into work this past week. They have nothing to do. Nothing's being built. Not sure how temporary this is. And it may be just one supplier, maybe a number of suppliers that are not providing their materials or their parts, and that could stop the entire production line. Of course, with car production, you have these massive lines, and if you're just missing one item, it can stop the whole thing. Now, sometimes they can just be like, well, let's just make it anyway, and we'll come back and put that part in. If it's easy to put in later, they can just park the cars after the assembly line, then have somebody go in and put that part in afterwards. But other parts, you need to put them in first. You need to put them on the production line. So it can stop the production line. And so we're hearing that out there. Also, we're seeing a lot of cars backing up on the car lots. People aren't buying brand new cars anymore. And we're seeing used car prices are plummeting at the same time. So people are going to be just moving to used cars, and those brand new cars coming off the line, no one's buying them. And so a lot of car companies are going to be hurting real bad over the next couple months. They may start major layoffs. They may start shutting down production lines entirely. Linda says, I live about 2 hours east of Pittsburgh. Our local Giant Eagle, which is a grocery store around here, was sold out of eggs, except for a few cartons of the expensive eggs. Our local discount store has extra large eggs for $2.99 a dozen. The egg shortage is hitting us here. So Mike, just head on up to east of Pittsburgh. I know it's a short drive. I make that drive back when I was in school out there in Louisville. But yeah, $2.99 is a lot better than $7.20. Yikes. But egg shortage over there as well. I haven't been to the store in the past week, so we'll be getting you some pictures and see what's going on here in the Pittsburgh area shortly. Once I kiss my parents goodbye and send them back to Florida, which will happen sometime later today. Cherry says, Allentown, Pennsylvania, we had a power substation blow up. Strange, isn't it? And yeah, we have a PPL substation in Allentown, left more than 8,400 people temporarily without power. Now, those power substations do blow up sometimes, and because they're filled with oil when they pop, they have a tendency to do giant fireballs, and it's quite spectacular. But usually that happens in the summertime, not usually in winter. But that's what happened there in Allentown. A viewer in Daleville, Virginia, Kroger steaks on sale right now after Christmas. Low price. Flour, salt, and sugar wiped out though. And that's at Kroger. They're obviously a nationwide chain, or almost nationwide. Jason says, I live in central Pennsylvania, and I was told by my doctor who did my stitches the other day that he was not using the right suture because he has a really hard time being able to order them along with other medical supplies. Doctor is having trouble getting stitches to give to his patients. It was a smaller ER, so maybe the supplies are being shipped to more populated areas, wondering if others are seeing the same. We're seeing medical shortages out there, that's for sure. We're seeing medication shortages out there, that's for sure. Friends, you need to be paying attention to what's going on out there. There's a lot happening behind the scenes. Things that should not be happening are happening. Shortages are developing in places where there should not be shortages. Like if we start walking through, why are medication shortages? Are the factories in China not operating? They're operating. So why aren't the medications getting to where they need to be? Why not? Seems nefarious to me. I mean, they're still making them. Unless there's production challenges where they're not able to produce these things, they should be pumping them out, and they should be, I mean, you put them on an airplane and they can get to wherever they need to be within a day. So why aren't they? Smart supply chain people can maybe answer some of those questions, but what we're seeing is we're not seeing the system self-correcting. We're not seeing the supply chain healing itself like it's supposed to. There are serious problems happening right now, and we're seeing the supply chain breaking down more and more and more. More bad news is probably going to be coming down the pike as the days go forward, and I would not be surprised to see medication shortages get even worse. Be stocking up, friends. Jace Medical is fantastic. You can get your prescriptions there, emergency supplies for the future, in case you can't get yours at the pharmacy. They have a lot of prescriptions, not all of them, but a lot of them out there. So if you have some common stuff that you need to get more prescription just in case, some backup supply, Jace Medical can maybe help you out on that. I'll put the link down in the pinned comment down below. But thanks so much for watching. If you want to get some more information on Genesis Gold Group, or to ask them questions, you can fill out a form there and contact them. There's a video from this channel right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.